Right point, Jaden Kerr. He shoots wide intentionally for Biondi. Back of the cage. Biondi wrapping out in front. They're jamming away at it. Biondi, another backhander, goes wide. Nelson, left on Henry Nelson. He scores! Danny to Henry. The two brothers connect. It's 1-0 Notre Dame with 12:22 to go in the first. And that was a fantastic shift from Notre Dame's top forward line. It all started with Blake Biondi's forecheck in the near side corner. He and Danny Nelson had a couple of close looks at the edge of the crease on Scarfoni. And finally, Henry Nelson just roofed a one-timer on a feed from Danny over the blocker's side of Scarfoni into the top left corner of the net under the bar. And Henry's got his second of the year. Paul Fisher for Janicki, top of the right circle. At full strength, and now up in a 4-on-3 advantage for the next minute 35. Nelson at the left point. Danny Nelson leaves it behind, left pushes it back to Knuble in neutral ice. Knuble pirouettes back in his own zone. Janicki into neutral ice. 5 seconds left in the 3-on-3. Janicki pulls back and sets up shot. Here comes Plusinski out of the box. Notre Dame at full strength, and now up in a 4-on-3 advantage for the next minute 35. Nelson at the left point. Danny Nelson leaves it behind, left point for Paul Fisher. He just holds the zone. Paul Fisher for Janicki, top of the right circle. High slot Fisher. Right dot. Janicki, one-timer wide right, and the rebound hits the kick plate and comes all the way out into neutral ice with 3 minutes to play in overtime. 1:15 in the Irish power play. Janicki through neutral ice. Here he comes, up the middle, veering left. Leaves for Knuble, left point. Knuble, top of the left circle, wants to shoot, fires, scores! The puck is in! The Irish win! And it's Cole Knuble again! His 6th of the year gets Notre Dame the extra point, and on the power play they win it 3-2 in overtime. And now the far half boards Cole Knuble. Protects the puck from Botterill and finds Halliwell, receiving the puck behind him at center circle. Halliwell cuts back, Wisconsin's own. Taking the shot, he scores! Ryan Halliwell, in career game number 83, just scored his second goal. That's his first of the season, and it's a 1-1 hockey game with 7:34 left in period number 2. We'll see if the top power play unit of Janicki, Nelson, Ali, Fleming, and Fisher getting back out there will yield more success for the Irish. Nelson wins the draw again, and Paul Fisher will bring this one ahead for Notre Dame with 17:10 to go in the second period. He finds Ali up the left wing, has a streaky Nelson alone in front to his forehand. He scores! It's a 2-goal night for Danny Nelson, and on the power play, this game is tied. 17:05 to go in the second period. What a decision by Paul Fisher at the start of that play. Notre Dame, if you watch the film on them, going 5-on-4, when they have that defenseman bring the puck up into neutral ice, he'll always drop it back. Would have been for Justin Janicki to get the rush started. MSU might have been sitting on that, and Fisher gave him the fastball up the left wing. Ali caught it in stride and had Nelson all alone going to the net, and Danny went backhand forehand to tie the game with a 2-goal night. Here comes Halliwell with speed down the left side for Notre Dame. He chips it and goes in himself on a forecheck as the defenseman, laying the shoulder on Luke Middlestat. Chance out in front. Score! Jack Larrigan! Just when Notre Dame needed it most, Jack Larrigan has his first collegiate goal, and the Irish teammates are going to love that. It's 3-2 with 2:26 to go in the second period. Right point, Axel Kumlin. Dropping for Ali at the blue line. Ali high slot, wants to shoot, does, and it goes wide left. Rebound kicks off the end wall in front for Nelson, who scores! Danny Nelson has a career-high point streak of 8 games as he found the fortuitous bounce and cashed it in going upstairs on Eberle. Notre Dame ties the game at 1. And now the big blue and gold Notre Dame flag is bouncing up and down above the arms of the band. And Notre Dame and Wisconsin are ready to go on this Friday night and 1st of November in South Bend. The officials for tonight's contest are Tony Check, Kevin Corbett, Pat Richardson, and Christopher Libet. Check and Corbett, the referees, Richardson and Libet, the linesmen. It's Morrissey and Knubel ready to take the opening face-off. Wisconsin will skate from left to right, Notre Dame right to left. The penalty box doors are closed, and the puck is down. It's a hockey night in South Bend as Wisconsin wins the draw back to Joe Palatichuk. Here come the Badgers, looping through neutral ice. Finley finds Mosley at the blue line. Badgers into the offensive zone. Centering feed through the hash marks, past Finley to the near side corner. Now the Irish with their first possession as Knubel, the 10-point score through 6 games, sweeps it out through neutral ice into the Wisconsin zone. Plusinski on the forecheck there, far side half wall. Up it goes to Justin Janicki near the right point, kicking it to the right circle, where Ian Murphy, the Princeton transfer, is there. Winding the puck around to the left point for Paul Fisher. He blasts it back in deep below the goal line, where Janicki loops around and finds Plusinski right point. The grad student, Plusinski, wrists one wide to the far side, the near side corner, where Knubel's on it, slithering up the half wall, leaving for Janicki. Janicki toward the left point, back down low, bottom of the circle, Ian Murphy. 50 seconds in, no score. Plusinski left point, off the bench, Danny Nelson right dot, takes the shot on goal, and Scarfoni makes the Knights' first save, holding on for a stoppage with 19:07 to go in the first. Tommy Scarfoni in net for Wisconsin, Owen Say for Notre Dame. It's a battle of transfers and a battle of number 30s tonight, and they have very different save percentages on this young season. Scarfoni, .864 with an 0-3 record. Owen Say is 3-0 with a .969. Notre Dame wins the draw back in the offensive zone, but Wisconsin swoops onto it and skates out. There's Lankowski in the far side corner for Wisconsin as they enter the Irish zone. Simon Tassi knocks down Brennan Ali, tried to sweep it back toward net, and now Danny Nelson's through neutral ice down the right side, backing it in deep for Notre Dame. Scarfoni blades it out to the far side corner, where Ali sends it up to Kumlin, who holds the zone nicely right point. Back behind the cage. Biondi there, look to center as Lotch pinned him to the wall. The Penguins draft pick. And now Wisconsin passes out into the neutral zone. Helliwell defends the Irish blue line, but Koski's there to dump it back in deep. Now it's Axel Kumlin skating out of the far side Notre Dame corner, leaving for Helliwell in the slot. 18:20 to go first period, no score. Just into the Wisconsin zone, Strand forces a turnover at the line, and from the left wing backhands it in deep to the near side corner of the Badger end. Fleming frees it up left point, Henry Nelson. To the right point it goes, Jaden Kerr, the freshman, puts it wide intentionally. The Badgers defend the bounce back, with Weston Knox, the freshman, making his debut back there. Now the Badgers sweep it all the way down to the Notre Dame end, 2 minutes in. Henry Nelson through Grant Silnoff. Here come the Irish to neutralize. Puck hops over Strand's stick, and now Wisconsin recovers in the Badger zone. Knox finds Palatichuk, and now here's Lindmark through neutral ice down the right side, playing it in deep. Nelson goes to retrieve the puck below the Irish goal line, leaving for Jaden Kerr. Up the half wall it goes for Slaggert. Clean breakout. Now Davis through neutral ice across the center circle. Davis toward Tyler Carpenter. Had it go between his legs at the point. Davis recovered the puck briefly. Now Wisconsin's on it, out of the zone. Tyson Dick down the left wing, just kicks it into the Irish zone. He's got a man, Dexheimer, going to get it in the corner. Up at the left point. There's a shot low. Left pad save. Owen Say. Rebound comes back to Dick, and Say held his ground for another stop. Now Dick behind the net, chips it up wide into the far side half wall, where Tyler Carpenter angles it up off the glass and out to Slaggert, who pumps it in deep past Lotch into the Wisconsin zone. 17 minutes to go first period. No score in Notre Dame's Big Ten opener against Wisconsin. Dick backhands it out of neutral ice and into the Irish end, where Say paddles it down and leaves for Paul Fisher. Lusinski gets it to Justin Janicki over a Badger stick into the Wisconsin zone. Left circle, Janicki sent a shot off Ian Murphy's skate going toward the net. Now Wisconsin sweeps it down. Race for the puck, could be icing, and Paul Fisher gets there. It is icing with 16:39 to play in period number 1. Early shots on goal, 2-1 in favor of the Wisconsin Badgers. And now Notre Dame with its top forward line out there. Sets up in the Michigan zone with 1:15 to go in the third period. They'll put the face-off on the near side to Logan Stein's right. 17 saves on 18 shots for the Michigan netminder, a Ferris State transfer. Danny Nelson against Marcus Stappa. And it's a tie-up near the dot, and Michigan wins. Duke with 1:10 to go. Retreats behind his cage again. Now Truscott, his defensive partner, up the left wing. Plusinski intercepts his pass at the Irish blue line and flings it into the Michigan zone. Ali gets there left out, rips a shot that just misses the top right corner and rebounds all the way up to the neutral zone. 55 seconds left, tie game 1-1. Mastro Domenico sends it on goal. Danny Nelson grabs the rebound far side corner, pushes it along behind the net. Michigan tries to outlet, but Mastro pinches down and holds the zone at the left side. The Wolverines do get to the puck now. Hage up to Warner, left side, into the Irish zone. Cuts back, rips a shot from the slot. It goes wide of Say. 35 seconds left, third period. Cole Knuble in front of the penalty boxes, steers it in deep. 30 seconds left now. Still 1-1. Michigan and Notre Dame. Up the middle, Werner for the Wolverines, over the Irish line. Leaves it right for Edwards. Takes a shot that Fisher blocks, gets his hands free, finds Janicki. 2-on-2 the other way for the Irish. 16 seconds. Janicki veers right, enters the Michigan zone, tracks down the rolling puck far corner. Centers for Knuble, rather Biondi, who gets taken down hard. Never got a shot off, and the Wolverines clear. 5 seconds left. Kumlin back in his own zone, and for the second consecutive Friday night, Notre Dame's going to overtime. What else is new at Yost Ice Arena? Michigan won, Notre Dame won. Final shot count for regulation, Michigan 43, Notre Dame 19. We'll see if the spirits of Ryder Rolston and Max Ellis and Drew Bavaro, the men who scored overtime winners within the past 3 years in this building for Notre Dame, are alive at Yost tonight. And of course, who could forget about Callie Ritterwall back in the 2008 season in the Frozen Four. So many classic matchups between Notre Dame and Michigan. And here's another one in the regular season that, like that series 2 years ago at the end of the regular season in 2022-23, when Notre Dame went to Ann Arbor needing a majority of the points to come back for home ice to start the Big Ten tournament. Just like that series, Michigan has badly outshot Notre Dame 43-19, but I'll tell you what, Owen Say is looking quite a bit like the man who wore number 30 here before him. He is pulling his best Ryan Bischel, and he has given Notre Dame a fighting chance to get out of this place with 2 points tonight. Both teams have already earned a point, so Notre Dame now has 3 Big Ten points on the season, and Michigan has its first in the Wolverine Big Ten opener. Michigan's first 3 skaters in the overtime, which will be a 5-minute overtime, sudden death, will be Ethan Edwards, Jackson Halem, and TJ Hughes. Notre Dame counters with Danny Nelson, Paul Fisher, and Cole Knuble. Knuble scored the overtime winner against Wisconsin last Friday, has 6 goals on the year, 2 in overtime for his career. Another Irish skater, Grant Silanoff, who isn't out there right now, beat Michigan in overtime at Compton 2 Novembers ago. Michigan will go right to left, Notre Dame left to right. Wolverines win the drawback to Edwards, and here we go. 5-minute sudden death overtime. If nobody scores, we'll head to a shootout. Here comes Halem up the right side for Michigan. Fisher watches him into the Irish zone. Halem pulls up outside of the right circle. Here go the Wolverines at 3-on-3. Halem moves into the slot, sends it down low for Edwards, who corrals the puck in the far corner. Possession so important in overtime as Edwards drags the puck behind him and now sets up at the right point. Still it's Edwards. Knuble in man coverage on him. Left point Hughes, 30 seconds into overtime, 1-1 score. TJ Hughes top of the right circle. Down the short right corner, the Wolverines go errant on a pass, and it comes all the way back into their own zone. Halem goes to get it. Michigan changes 2 of the 3-on-3 men. Notre Dame still has Nelson, Knuble, and Fisher out there, although they aren't very tired, at least from what they've done in overtime. Here comes Hage speeding into the zone and taking a shot that Say covers up. That was a quick developing, speedy play by the star freshman Michael Hage as he cut in from the left dot. And the right-handed shooter made a quick switch to his forehand and tried to roof a shot, but Say stood him up with save number 43 tonight. 4:07 left in overtime. Hage, Shifsky, and Truscott from Michigan against Strand, Janicki, and Kumlin for Notre Dame. Strand wins the draw back. Now Notre Dame has its first possession of OT and starts with Strand in the far corner, going back for Kumlin near corner. A minute into the extra period, sudden death. The Irish trying to get out of Ann Arbor, at least for tonight, with the extra point. Here comes Janicki through neutral ice. Top of the left circle. Janicki defended by Hage. He drags the puck around to the near corner. Sends it out in front for Kumlin, who couldn't take the one-timer, and now he'll just leave the zone with Hage pressuring him. Kumlin back to his own blue line. Now Strand at the Michigan line right wing. Checked there by Shifsky. Hage frees up the puck. Strand stays with it. Now Hage in a tie-up with him. Kumlin tracks it down, but turns it over to Truscott, who's into the Notre Dame zone. Left dot, Truscott cuts to his backhand, and Say makes another save. The play keeps moving as Say let it go. 3:15 left in overtime. Shifke trying to force a turnover. And now Notre Dame gets to the rolling puck with Janicki up the middle. 3-on-2 as the Wolverines are late to change. Janicki leaves for Kumlin, right point, wants to drive it. He does, and it goes wide on the left post. And the rebound comes out. Could be a 2-on-1. Here comes Warner into the Notre Dame zone right dot. Warner drags, fires, blocker save, but the rebound's in. Evan Warner, Michigan 2, Notre Dame 1 in overtime. 2 rebound goals for the Wolverines. And Evan Warner's wins it for Michigan. They get the extra point at home. For Evan Warner, that's goal number 4 on the season. And the beat goes on for the reigning Big Ten First Star of the Week. Shot number 46 of the night for Michigan, the one that ends it.